Democracy That Delivers is brought to you by the Center for International Private Enterprise. Now to your host.
Hi, this is Sousena Tefera, Senior Program Manager with the Global Alliance for Trade Facilitation. I am currently in Blantyre, Malawi at the Malawi University of Business and Applied Science. I'm also joined by 4 different colleagues joining me for this podcast recording. I will quickly turn it over to them to introduce themselves, and then we will get into the meat of our discussion. I'll give you the chance first.
All right. This is McWilliams Mhone for Universal Trade Solutions.
All right.
And this is Griffin Kamanga from Quantum Shipping Services.
This is Mavuto Zabula from Evergreen Logistics.
Okay. Alex, do you want to join us for this conversation?
Yes. My name is Alex Songa, project coordinator.
All right.
For Garif. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. All right. The purpose of this conversation really is we have started training for clearing agents since December of 2023. We are about to graduate the first cohort, and it's super exciting. As exciting as it is, it's also a huge milestone for the industry. And these 3 gentlemen are part of that first cohort. They're going to be the first, eye-opener in terms of actually professionalizing the industry, right? So I'm joined by my 3 colleagues here. We will give them the floor to tell us a little bit about their history or journey into clearing agent. When did you get started? Mhone.
All right. As I said, I'm McWilliams Mhone from Universal Trade Solutions. On the first place, I started doing the opening up the investor trade, that is in 2018. By then, of course, I had to work from different companies where I got some experiences. Also, I did the other part of shipping and forwarding as a course. Then later on, it's when I ventured to do our own film. However, on the first place, some of the things that we had a problem is that we never knew about in terms of to answer the queries. When we have got a query from the MRA, we are able to respond in a very positive or impact way, like to defend ourselves, whether sometimes we just accept the query to say, no, it's fine, let's go ahead and move. But when we join this training now, we're able to understand in terms of the trade terms, in terms of the tax issues.
Before we get into the training component, let's discuss your background first, and I'll go around the table here. How old were you when you joined this profession?
That time I recall I was 29.
Okay.
Yes.
Were you in another industry or?
No, I was in the same industry.
Okay.
Yes.
You said you received a course on logistics?
Yes, I did shipping and logistics.
Shipping and logistics, where?
I did one for the shipping, I did with the Longo Technical College. Then I did the CIPE, Chartered Institute of Transport and Logistics, with the Malawi College of Accountancy.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that a diploma level
That
training?
was advanced diploma.
Advanced diploma.
Yeah, sure.
Level. Okay.
Yes,
All
correct.
Right. Very good. All right, Mr. Mhone, thank you. Over to you.
Like I said, my name is Griffin Kamanga from Quantum Shipping Services Limited. We initially opened the company in 2013, but then I was working with the bank in the International Trade Department, so I used just to delegate to my guys. My background is in accounting. But after working with the International Trade Department, then I got a glimpse of what import and export or clearing is. But since I was just relying on some other guys, then they messed up in 2015. So initially I had to resign from the bank in 2017, and then that's when I joined the profession full-time. But then I wasn't so familiar with the terms and of the crane. But then I was trying and
Can you
push.
walk us a little bit about that story? They messed up, you
They
said.
messed up. Yeah.
What
so-
was it?
Now the thing is, initially the guys got too ambitious, and then they opened their own company, and then my company initially was closed, and we had to reapply to Malawi Revenue Authority. So they reopened it in 2021. Yeah, so that's where I took over full time. Well, what I'm saying, when I'm saying that they messed up, what I mean is they didn't perform the duties as was expected of them. They left us in a lot of mess, such that we're not able to renew, to have funds to renew the license at Malawi Revenue Authority.
Do you remember the penalty that you got?
Yeah, it
or
was around,
Was there ever even a penalty?
Initially, I mean, the funds, the penalty which was supposed to give to Malawi Revenue Authority was around 300 South and Malawi Kwacha then.
Okay.
That was around 2015. So we failed to raise that. And then they left like a lot of arrears in rentals where we were renting. We ended up losing our office furniture, and equipment. Yeah, so.
And all this is because of non-compliance by a few
yes,
colleagues?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So then we thought of giving up. But then initially I saw how lucrative this business is. Then I decided to reopen it. And then I reapplied at Malawi Revenue Authority, and they reopened it in 2021. So with that past experience, then I thought, why don't I just go there full time? So that's when I joined it full time. But then I wasn't so familiar with it. And then by and by, I was learning with this training, which I just attended. Now it has reopened my eyes. I think I'll expand that further as we go.
Yes.
Sure, thanks.
So when you reopened your business in 2021, was it hard because of the track record that you had?
Yeah, it was hard. There was COVID then, and then the track record. So it was kind of difficult to find trusted employees.
True.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So.
Over to our next colleague.
Okay, as I said earlier on, my name is Mavuto Zabula, the director for Evergreen Logistics. I started my career in 2004. That time, I think I was just like a learner, right? So I learned, I think,
How
for
old
a
were you
year.
then?
By then I was
If you
22.
don't mind me asking.
I was 22.
Okay.
Right? And since I was a learner, then it was difficult sometimes to raise money for transport, to raise money for food. But now then I decided to dropping some raters in companies. So one of the reliable companies picked me. I think it was Stansfield Motors. And I started my work on 8 September 2005. By then, I started as a clearing clerk. But after some time, they offered me a position, which they said, okay, I have to redo the interviews. Then I passed. Then they put me as a logistics supervisor by then. But now my task was like fully logistics and some sort of buying and selling as well, whereby I was used to apply for the Form E's to the bank, buying the vehicles, like the motorcycles, the outboard engines, and once they're in, I have to put all the transaction into their system. I have to go to customs, doing all the customs procedures there, getting the goods cleared. But now, in 2012, is when now the Stansfield guys, they are saying, okay, now we are learning out of our clients, then we need to also merge with another company, which is called Imperial Motors now. And by then, they sell some shares to, they sold some shares to Imperial Motors, and Then I made a choice to say, okay, if you sell the shares to these guys, then I have to join them. Then I went there also as a logistics supervisor.
Okay. So now you're jumping from one company to the next. What was your educational background?
My education background was like in 2004, I started my certificate locally by, we called ISAC. And those guys, they were based in the Makata Industrial Site with a company called JSJ. And I was there.
What's the training they offer?
They're offering the training of shipping and forwarding, custom procedures, warehousing, and at the same communication and customer care on top of that. So after I got my certificate and joined this company called Stansfield, while I was at Stansfield, I also did my diploma with the Blantyre Business College by the board of ABMA from UK, which I obtained my advanced diploma there as well. And from there, after I joined this new company, Imperial, it's when now I started also trying to look at my back to say, okay, I can't be like this forever. I have to make my own business. So in 2015, I started applying for my business registration certificate, whereby I got that one and I got my taxpayer identification number. Then gathering my information, my certificates, everything, I applied for the custom clearing agency company, which I named it as Evergreen Logistics.
Okay.
And as I'm talking, I'm all alone.
Okay.
I don't have much of employees, and most of the employees are at the borders. But as head office, I'm all alone.
Okay, so you are a sole entrepreneur.
I'm sole entrepreneur, but now I've got guys at the borders, Deza, Mwanza, Nchinji, Songwe, Lilongwe International Airport.
So it's expanding.
It's expanding, but now, with the coming of this training, the first cohort, I think with the experience I got from it, I can say a vision to say I'll have more customers because of the professionalism of the training which I just attended. Thank you.
Okay, so we have one managing director here, right? Another managing director,
Yes.
and you're managing director as well. So we have three managing directors.
Yes.
Owners of the companies as well. Okay, very good. I want to know, as part of this, going into some people's background really impressed me for a reason, because when you join a certain profession, there is something that inspires you, right? Or that you have learned from somebody or saw somebody growing up. What was your story, Mhone?
Actually, when I was at secondary school, that is in data, we normally, usually when it's like a weekend, we usually go to the border.
Okay.
So while we're at the border there...
What's the name of the border?
That's Dedza border.
Data?
Dedza border.
Okay.
Yes. When we're going there, we see people are learning away with papers, doing this and that. So we used to, I remember that was in Form 2. We used to ask, what are these guys do? So they said, no, these guys, they are called custom, the clearing agents. Oh, what do they do? So I started now gathering information.
How old were you?
That time I was that was about 18.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the first story. So from there I started gathering. When I finished up my secondary school, now I started looking what are the courses that are attached to this field. So that's where the ambitious or having an idea of how to do with the customs field started.
Okay.
Sure.
How about Mr. Kamanga?
Well, it's funny because he used to be one of our first customers then.
Okay.
Yeah. I think then he used to work for Imperial Motors, like he put it. But now the thing is, while I was still working with the bank, I used to process these what we call import permits and import payments and then the export processes. I was the one who was handling all that. So there were a lot of customs clearing agents who used to come. So,
For what purpose?
well, like they wanted to make payments, that is import payments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As in telegraphic transfers. Yeah. So I was the one handling it. And then maybe they want to export, they had have what we call exchange control regulations. They had to apply for what we call a C1 form. So I was the one who was doing all those.
Okay.
And then I started growing some interest. So I started asking them questions. And there was this other guy from Kenya. His name was Peter Tikiwa. He used to own a company called Regional Logistics. So we became very close. And then I started asking him, how does it go? What's the process? Then he was not mean with information. He gave me all the information. One day just decided to go to the registrar's office and then registered that company. But then we had no clients. We had no way to start. Then Peter left. I think it was the very same year Peter left. But one of his trusted guys, he was just left behind. He had nowhere to go. So I approached him. Then he started assisting me in the office.
Okay.
And then he was like the one who was handling all what was supposed to happen there. And it's the same guy who betrayed me. And yeah, sure. So basically that's how it started.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So you were working at the bank,
Yes,
but also have your own company on the side.
Yeah, I just decided to open a company as I was working.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. How about you, Mr. Zabula?
Yes, Zabula.
Okay.
Okay, as for me, I think my dad had very good friends in one of the clearing and logistics company. And after I finished my secondary school level, he decided for me to go and start that particular course, which is the name of the school was ISAC. And the directors was the late Malivas for JSJ International. So the story was like, my father was a tailor. He was a tailor, he's a retired tailor. So these directors, they used to go to his shop and making some repairs for the suits, making the brand new suits and the like. So my father was really, really interested for me to join this industry, to be like one of the big customers for him. Sure.
Okay.
So-
Okay. That's very interesting. Okay. Switching gears. What's the name of the association you belong to?
I belong to ICAFA.
And you?
Yeah, the same ICAFA.
Okay. ICAFA as well. Okay. So we have been engaging ICAFA and the other association as well, CAFAM, as part of this project. And obviously MRA as well, to develop the regulatory framework, to develop the curriculum, and finally to implement the training and the examination, right? So remind me of the first time that you have heard about the coming of this program or the coming into effect of this program, and what was your reaction? Mr. Mhone first.
You're right, thank you. On the first place is, for me, I'm part of the ICAFA executive. So normally when the issue came in, the whole executive was very happy, in the sense that some of the problems that we have been crying before, to have the training, such a training as to the field play, it was a welcome idea. And I recall that everyone was eager to say, no, when are we starting? So it was a good news to everyone who was in attendance, yes.
Okay. Was that the same impression with you as well,
Yes.
Mr. Kamanga?
Yes, we have a WhatsApp group, and then the executives had posted whatever they were discussing with Malawi Revenue. So it says, there's this upcoming training. Yeah, so you just have to be ready for it. So yeah, I was so anxious to attend that training. Sure.
Okay. Zabula.
Yes, as for me, It is also the same thing. I got this information from one of our WhatsApp group for ICAFA. So after I laid the advert, it's when now we start being enrolled by our secretariat so that we can attend. So luckily, we are the first cohort.
Okay, very good. All three of you are managing directors.
Yes.
Some of you have employees, some of you are still a sole entrepreneur. Would you be willing down the road when you hire more people or with the existing ones to train your employees under this program or to undergo this program? Would you be willing to pay for that?
Yeah, we will be do that because you know, education is a tool. As we said on the first place, the knowledge that we have get from here, if we also get our employees to come through, I believe that's the way to go. Because if the company has to grow, it means they have to have a knowledge in all the sectors of business industry. Yes. So we are willing to do that.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Kamanga.
Yeah, sure. No, we have to do that because apart from collecting revenue on behalf of Malawi Revenue Authority, we also look at qualitative data. We need to collect data which has to be used by the country. So we are the guys who initiate those transactions in the system. So if we don't give our guys a chance, it means they'll correct
Inaccurate
inaccurate.
data.
Yes, so obviously that has to happen. I can't just be the only one who have to have that information. Everybody has to have a chance to do it.
Okay.
Sure.
Mr. Zabula?
Yes, since Malawi always depend on the tax collection, it's very much good for us to give more educative to the other guys which can be also enrolled or maybe do the same course in the future if they need it be, so that as Malawi we should have those students who are who can have a very good eye opening in terms of tax collecting, not just like someone who can just come and say, okay, let's do this and that. That will not be good, but should be those people who knows where are these goods coming from, how can we classify these things, what are the tax measures on these particular items. So by them to know all these particular things, they have to be trained.
Absolutely.
And the very, very good place to come is this one, the MOBAS.
Yeah, very good. I have a quick question around the training in general. And in particular, what was the one thing that you have captured from this training where you said, oh, I used to do this wrong? Is there one single thing that you remember? Or
Yeah, there are lots, but okay, I will just mention maybe two. I'll give an example to do with the classification. I'll give an example like a chair. Normally, if you have not seen the chair as what's the nature or what are the materials that have been used, you can classify as a plastic chair while it is not. It's a wooden chair. So with the training, we're able to classify to say no, but this is a wooden chair. It's not a plastic chair. Yeah, so that's one thing. The second thing is about to do with the customer care. Sometimes we would just handle the customers the way we want, but now we're able to know, okay, fine, with this, I think we're doing not light on this, or maybe sometimes we'll argue with the client with the thing maybe we've done it wrong in our side. So with that, now we're able to know it.
very good.
Sure. So, well, as for me, basically, I'll look at the rules of origin. Just last week, we had training with COMESA. And then there were people from Ministry of Trade and Industries, Malawi Revenue Authority. Now, initially, people used to look at clearing agents as maybe crooks, maybe people who don't know what they're doing. But now, last week when we were engaging with these guys from COMESA and rather from Ministry of Trade and Malawi Revenue Authority, at least we could discuss on some equal level, just because now we understand what it was supposed to do, what origin means and how we're supposed to act. We could act, not necessarily argue, but discuss on equal levels. So yeah, it was an eye-opener. That training was an eye-opener because I really know what I'm supposed to do, what is supposed to be done. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Very good. Mr. Zabula?
Yeah, as for me, one of the things which I have seen it right now to say, okay, the training was just so wow. Because, when you have a query with customs, we just answer it as if we were just answering someone who doesn't know anything. But now with this training, we can answer the query with some facts, whereby when these guys just send the answer from the particular query they have given, for them we say yes, because we know the direction of whatever they have taken from, and we know the direction of whatever we know about whatever they're taking from. So for us now, it's like head to head. It's like a head on. So whatever they're taking and whatever we're inputting to them, we end up having a very good conversation. And at the end of the day, our transactions, once we lodge the entries, what the client has paid, they're not taking much time other than the time we not attended this training.
Okay,
Sure.
that's excellent. One more thing around the training. How did you're the owners of the companies,
Yes.
and this training took long, right? How did you manage to do that? Were you all based in Blantyre or in Lilongwe?
Yes, we're in Blantyre.
Okay, all three of you. Okay.
In terms of that, it's okay. I'll give an example. Because we've got some staff at our offices, so it's not like all the times we're hands-on. Sometimes.
Okay.
Regardless of that, still assuming we'll finish up at 4. We are starting at 8 or half 8. It means the first 1 hour, 2 hours, I'll still go and see the office and
Okay.
do some small things and come back to the training.
Okay.
Either at lunch hour, maybe 2 to 3 minutes, we still drive on and come
Okay.
back.
Okay.
Sure. But otherwise, most of the other thing it means during the training, we have to say, no, guys.
It was put on hold.
Yeah, sure. I have to do this training because we didn't want to light this up anyway. That's maybe.
Yeah.
We didn't want to fail,
Yeah.
We are directors, as we have said.
Yeah.
And somebody will say, director has failed. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So
Mr. Kamanga.
I've told you my background, right? Even though I reopened the company, I still had to delegate. I still had to trust some other guys. So yeah, I have guys who are still running as I was attending the training. So yeah, basically I could go in the evening after we knock off here, but then most of it was being done by my colleagues at the office. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, as for me, since I started this cleaning industry, I think 2005, 2004, somewhere there, I've jumped about 3 versions. One was Ascuda. We are using Ascuda 2.7, and we jumped to Ascuda++. Then now we are in Ascuda World. So after this training with Ascuda World, and for me it was not that much difficult, because every time maybe we have break time or we have lunch time, I can easily log in my computer, laptop, using my phone.
And monitor activities.
Yes, and monitor everything I want to monitor at that particular time. Other than those time with Ascuda 2.7, whereby it was typically manual, and with the Ascuda++, it was partly yes, faster. But now it was a need of someone to go to customs regularly. But with this Ascoda world and the introduction of this training with the Ascoda world is like a bomb to me to say, okay, I can do this while I'm going to school.
Very good.
Sure.
Very good. I know you guys are graduating on Friday. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. It's amazing. It's one of the reasons why I'm here. I'm really happy, proud of all the effort that you guys have put in. It's amazing. It gives me so much joy. So congratulations again. Great work.
Thank you.
So I'm assuming all three of you passed the exam.
Yes.
All right. That's another layer of congratulations. One round, or do you have to do a second round?
No, that was one.
One and passed.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. That's wonderful. All right. Anything you want to ask me at this point? I've been grilling you for the past 30 minutes.
No, maybe what I wanted to say is first maybe to thank your organization, or in short, particularly yourself, because you initiated that project, and you've been monitoring it. I could see we are also part of our group. We could be able to see the conversation. I know sometimes people use our local language,
Yes.
but still sometimes there might be small arguments.
There were instances where I had to check with Alex to say, what are they saying on this?
She had to send me that message
Yes.
to interpret for her.
Yes.
But,
Particularly when it gets heated.
yes.
So just for our listeners, we're talking about our WhatsApp group, where all our cohorts are conversing on this WhatsApp chat. So that's what we're making reference to. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Kamanga? Any questions, comments, your experience?
The thing is, like he's rightly put it, and we need to thank you for this project. To me, that was a gap in my line of work, coming from my previous background, what I'm doing right now. So I was trying to get a glimpse of what really it's so about. But then this package, it's like it just gave me one right. I mean, it opened my eyes right there. So the thing is, what I would want to edge is like maybe it should go beyond this other cohort too, so that other people benefit as well. Because I've seen today in the newspapers, Malawi Revenue Authority has advertised for short courses, these trainings. Now people have to pay, but we didn't pay. This was like it was
scholarship.
Sure. Yeah, so a lot of us cannot afford what was advertised, but now we had a chance to get the scholarship. So I'd really urge you to extend it to some others as well. You don't even know what to bring in future. It's not just about Malawi Revenue Authority. Maybe to some guys, this might be the certificate which will open some other avenues in the next course of their life.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, thanks.
All right, thank you. Zabula?
Yeah, as for me, it's just a smile everywhere because, I was not expecting to say in my career I can have a scholarship like this. That's number one. Number two, I would like to thank the MOBAS team for their presence. Every time we have problems, they are there for us. If we have maybe materials which we need, they would have easily go and take the materials on time, so that we should not that have time to say, okay, we are failing this and that because of some of the materials are not there. But also, I would like to thank you also for the team which you chose for them to learn on this particular program, because they are the same guys which always drill every time at customs. They are the same guys which always give us some queries at some point or another. They are the same guys which we always work as a team. So by facing them face to face with this particular...
In a classroom environment.
Yes, in this particular training, it was very great.
Wonderful.
And, yeah.
Wonderful.
But before we close, I also have this to say. In as much as, it was a very good training, but it had a bit of challenges. The time was just short.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we had a lot of stuff to be covered within a very limited time. So maybe in future, should you consider it still sponsored, please consider it on the aspect of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
Very good. Thank you all so much. Do you want to add anything, Alex? You've been quiet for quite some time.
All right, thank you so much. Let me also thank the sponsor, Katifi, for this sponsorship. Otherwise, many brokers, they wouldn't manage to pay the fees. As they have already rightly saying here that MRI has advertised for another cohort, of which the fees that are being mentioned there, few individuals can manage. Now, this time around, we have trained almost 200 plus, which means at least we have laid the beds. So if your opportunities are there, don't forget that we have so many of them that are applying. This time around, we are talking that we have over, and the demand is still there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let me also thank you for your presence now and then, checking us to see if things are working on the ground. So it wasn't easy for you to leave the family news and come here to check with. It takes a sacrifice for you to leave everything there and come here and experience the environment here, which is different from there, just to see that the project is running in time and within what we agreed. So this is just very, very important.
Yep.
So thank you. Take this word to the sponsor that Malawians are very, very thankful for the scholarship, and they're looking forward for next opportunity.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. I truly appreciate your time. I look forward to seeing you on Friday for the party. All right, thank you.
Listen and subscribe to CIPE's Democracy That Delivers wherever you get your podcasts.